Today I'm going to be making lentil soup, and this is my great Auntie T's recipe. And we had this on Wednesdays and Fridays. And to make it a little bit more diabetic friendly, I've eliminated the pasta, and she would put elbows or little tiny ditalini in it. You can swap out brown rice if you choose to, or you can just leave it out. I kind of like it without. And it's very, very easy to make this. I've included my recipe for you. And basically you're just gonna start with your lentils, which are the regular green and brown lentils. They're just the plain, ordinary lentils that you can buy in the grocery store. And you want probably about a cup of those, and fresh tomatoes, and fresh Italian parsley. I got these tomatoes from my friend's garden, and of course they're beautiful this time of year. And then we're gonna add garlic. We're gonna add a couple of carrots, some celery. You're just dumping everything in the pot. But I do want to show you an easy way to cut an onion. And you want it diced for this recipe. So if you cut your onion in half and then you peel it back, and you can use this little end for a handle just to hold on to. And if you look at the way the onion grows, if you go the opposite way, you can actually cut and you end up with a nice dice. And of course, the smaller you make the cuts, the smaller the dice is going to be. And that is a diced onion. It's just super, super easy. And you have nice little dices. And of course, we'll put that in the pot too. Now for this recipe, for your liquid, you can use water, you could use beef stock, you could use chicken stock, vegetable stock. I made my own chicken stock for this, and I'm gonna add about 6 cups-ish. A little bit more is okay. So this is all homemade. But of course you can buy the chicken stock in the grocery store. I mean, that's Trader Joe's has a nice one. It's relatively inexpensive. And then for this recipe, I'm going to add some meat, and I'm using browned sausage that I got from my friend at Fernari Sausage Company. And this is a chicken sausage, which I love the chicken in this. So we're gonna start it out with, it's gonna come up to about a boil or so. And then I'm gonna add some salt. And I'm using kosher salt. So about, I don't know, teaspoon, maybe teaspoon and a half. I'm going to use also Mediterranean oregano. A little bit of that. If you don't like oregano, you can swap out basil. Black pepper, of course, you want to add. This whole recipe will only take about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. That's it. It's super, super fast. And you can also make this in a crock pot. And that will take, I don't know, on high probably 4 hours, on low 8-10 hours. So if you don't have a lot of time, you know, you just want to prep it all out and then maybe go to work or something, you can come home and it's already done. And it works out great. You can freeze it. I have included a lot of tips on my recipe. This is Pecorino Romano cheese, and I always have this on hand. And what you want to do is just take a little tiny piece. If you grate your own cheese, you have the rind left over, don't ever throw those away. Put them in a Ziploc bag, throw it in the freezer, use a little piece, and you would not believe how excellent it comes out. It's almost like a different level of flavor. But if you serve your soup this way, and the person that gets that little piece of cheese, they have to do the dishes. That's just how that has to work. So, just saying. And then I have some Swiss chard that a buddy of mine grew, and I'm going to throw this in. I like the Swiss chard. You can use spinach, you could use kale. Escarole is really good to use. any of that, and you end up with basically a vegetable soup but with lentils. And that's it. That's it. So I'm going to show you how to make a basic vinaigrette. And you want to use, oh, I don't know, a tablespoon or so of Dijon mustard for this. You could use whole grain mustard. You could use spicy mustard, any kind of mustard that you like. And I'm going to add to that white wine vinegar. Of course, you could use red wine vinegar. You could use lemon juice. I love lemon juice. Add a little bit of black pepper, tiny bit of kosher salt. I use the kosher salt because it dissolves quicker, and I think it has a nicer flavor. So the trick to this vinaigrette is you're basically going to make an emulsification, and I am mixing right in my salad bowl. It's so easy, you don't have to make it ahead of time, although you can. And then you're just going to add your olive oil, and whatever your favorite is will work for this. You just want to add a drop at a time, and you want to keep whisking. And then eventually it'll all come together. The mustard is a natural emulsifier, so this is just your basic vinaigrette. Just takes a minute or so. And I'm not measuring. I did include measurements on the recipe, but those are kind of, whatever you like. And you can, of course, change it. Now look at how that is all nice and creamy. That's ready to go. That's it. Done. See? And it'll stay together. So I'm just going to add my salad mix to it and toss it. You don't need very much because you don't want it all soggy. So that's it.